So you want to know how to double your damage in Hydra? Got you. What's up guys, MtgJedi here. Thank you for tuning in to this wonderful Hydra special. We have some crazy things to share with you today, and this one secret is going to just change your world in terms of Hydra. At least I hope so. That's my intention. I'm very excited to share my teams with you. I've made some major progress on my account. But before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Infinite Magicraid. So this is a game I'm very excited about, guys. I am intending on playing this game myself and seeing what it's all about. If you have been playing it as well, let me know in the comments below. But let's jump into the trailer. Let me give you a little bit of information, and then we will get back to some Hydra action.
Infinite Magicraid, play to slay.
I just was blown away by the trailer, okay? When I was prepping this video, my first reaction was I was immediately drawn in. First of all, I was captivated for the entire trailer, and I have no idea that that was gonna happen, okay? Number two, I was like, these graphics are pretty cool, and these character designs seem sweet as well. I think that this game looks visually appealing, okay? Now, there's a lot of other things about this game that's appealing to me as well. But I wanted to show off some things, like some actual graphics from the game and whatnot. So let's hop over here to their website. If you look here over on the Infinite Magicraid site, they have this section for their factions. There's 10 different factions in this game, which I think is pretty sweet. They already have over 200 champions and tons of game modes already, which honestly is surprising for a game that's new like this. So I was so glad to see that. So let's take a look at a couple of these character designs. We have Hisaru the Forgotten. He's kind of like a ninja guy. The next faction is the Doom Legion. The names are cool too. Focus. I don't know. That sounds kind of sketchy for Jedi to be saying. That sounds a little sketchy, but he looks cool. The Sword Harbor Guards. The aesthetics in the game are so interesting to me. It doesn't really have anime graphics. I would say that these graphics are more similar to, I don't know, Star Wars Rebels almost, right? We have a Dragon Tribe champion here. Like, look at all of these different factions, guys. This is so super cool. We got a Lizardman guy. Oh, man, that's so, so cool. I'm very excited about the graphics. I'm excited to try the different game modes. There's idle gameplay, which I find very appealing. Since I do the majority of my gameplay on my phone, being able to have some idle aspects to games is very helpful to me since I'm so busy. And then also, there's these cool mini games in the game. What is this guy? Yo, that's so cool. All right, so Infinite Magicraid, who is down to try this with me? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for Infinite Magicraid sponsoring this video. If you would like to download the game and give it a try, there will be a link in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use this code, you can get some free rewards. So that code is IM777. Okay, and I'll put that information in with the link as well, but you should definitely download this game. This game is going to be super fun, and I'm very excited to try it out with you guys. So let's jump back over, talk about some raid, and move on with the rest of the video. Okay, so let's hop into this Hydra discussion this morning. I'm super pumped to share this with you. So, this week for the Hydra rotation that we currently have, I was able to, this is rotation 5, 1 key, hard, brutal, and nightmare. Hard, brutal, and nightmare. Shout out to my clan, Oath of Unity. If you enjoy pushing for CVC and Hydra, shout out to me in Discord, and we can get you a spot when a spot opens up in my clan. So we have 3 different teams here. They have some similarities and some differences, and I'm very excited to share that with you. Okay, so let's take a look at the teams, and then we will do a complete breakdown on them. All right. I personally do not like content like showing the run of the Hydra teams, but also for me that's very difficult because I do my Hydra keys on my phone because they're very time consuming. So when I'm just like relaxing watching TV, I do my Hydra keys. So that's very hard to get on camera, but I also think that you guys don't really want to see the actual run. If that's the case, let me know, and I can try to arrange a video like that in the future. So if we take a look at the first team here, we got almost 36 million damage on hard. This is a new high point for me on this boss. Then my brutal damage is just blown away my previous maximum. And the nightmare damage was squeaking in right barely above the max chest. So if you're not aware, max chest is 36.6. And guess what we got? 36.64. Okay. But near the end of the run, we had our team started to fall apart where people started getting eaten, and then we couldn't free them, and then it kind of fell apart near the very end. I think YuGiOh was the last one alive here, so that was pretty crazy. Okay, so these are the teams. So before I get into the breakdown of each champion, because that's probably the most important thing, you got team construction, you have the gear on the champions, but the number one thing that I added to these teams was speed, okay? And that's twofold. Speed on the individual champions with the gearing, and then speed in the team with some type of turn meter boost effect. In Nightmare, that was Arbiter. Previously, I was running Duchess in this team. And what I found was that I wasn't getting enough hits in on the boss. Additionally, I put in Coronar as a 3rd damage dealer that also brought me decreased attack, okay? As for Brutal, the number one reason why I was successful on Brutal was Nikmo. Okay? And he brought not only that turn meter boost, but also the decreased speed. Now, you might be saying, well, Krisk has decreased speed, and you would be correct there, but it does not land consistently. Whereas with Nikmo, it did land consistently, okay? And who was it that gave me this suggestion? Birdbrain, I think? Whoever it was, thank you so much to the Nikmo suggestion. Nikmo paired with Duchess, okay? Now, if you're trying to do Brutal and Nightmare, you have to have some pretty serious champions. Like, look at these Nightmare teams. Every single one at the top of my clan starts with Duchess Krisk. So this is not for, like, you know, an early game account. You have to have some serious champions, some serious gear, and be very progressed in the game, okay? I would say, like, Judas here, like, this is kind of a different team. With Brogni in there and then Kantra, okay? But in general, you're gonna see the same types of champions here. Nice job, Rubikoi, for 2-keying. But this is the first time that our clan has taken down Nightmare, so shout out to my clan. You guys are amazing. RRB getting the new champion here, Chronum. That's pretty amazing. So there are some different team strategies. Tanneros, we gotta upgrade you, my dude, because this should be a 1-key right here. This should definitely be a 1-key, and probably what's missing from this team is that turn meter boost, because this is very similar damage to what I was doing before I included that turn meter boost. So if you look at these last 3 teams here, the thing that they all have in common is there's no increase. We're not boosting our turn meter in any way, okay? So I would guess Tanneros, Pote, and Old Vart, shout out to you guys. You're doing a great job. Appreciate all the help. We could not have taken down Nightmare without you. But the thing that we want to include in teams like this is that boost. You can see here, like, Psalmist up here has Sifi, right? And Sifi is a very common one to include, okay? And that's the thing that is probably missing from your team. That's the thing that's probably missing. So let's take a look at the builds, and then you'll see again what I mean, right? We're going to start with hard, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to pull 1 Sacred Shard, see if we can get lucky. So stick around till the end. Now, I went, and since Polarium does not allow... Wait, actually, wait. Let's come back over here for a second. If we take a look at my key here, we can see. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at the breakdown of the damage here. And you can see that we lasted a crazy long amount of time for this fight, okay? We had Mithrala doing some damage, Venus doing some damage, but the 2 Cupiduses are doing the majority of the damage here, okay? War Chief and Arbiter down at the bottom, okay? Now, one thing that I want you to note, here's the Arbiter damage here. Now, look at the Arbiter damage here. Look at the Arbiter damage here on Nightmare versus Hard. We had 4 million damage on Arbiter in Nightmare, which is absolutely incredible. And the reason why is because we have this 1-star awakening, okay? 1-star awakening, all right? But you can see here, YuGiOh doing the heavy lifting here, Husk 2nd place, and then we got a little bit of damage from the rest of these, okay? But the blessings playing an important role here as well, okay? And then let's take a look up here at my top of brutal score. Hopefully we can take down this boss as well. Let's go. Only 80 million more to take down every boss. That would be amazing. So you can see here, Nikmo doing almost 6 million damage, but YuGiOh is doing the heavy lifting, 23 million. Husk at 19. YuGiOh doing basically nothing. But she's providing a very important role. And same thing with Duchess, right? They're not here to do damage. They are here to do the supporting. Okay, so now let's come over and take a look at the builds. So, no Polarium. All right, so if we go to recently used, I worked really hard for you here. We can take a look and see the other key aspect about a lot of these champions is healing themselves, okay? So you can see that both of my Cupiduses, and this is not 100% necessary. Like, I've seen people be successful with their Cupidus in normal arena gear, but for me, I've seen success having them in both in lifesteal, okay? So we do not have crazy stats on here. We're at like 4,200 attack here, 211 crit damage. It's nothing crazy, guys. It's nothing crazy, okay? And then similar stats. These are a little bit better over here, okay? On the second one, a little bit better. This is my normal Arena Arbiter. Her speed is not important. It's just my normal Arena Arbiter, 351. We have Venus in regen, which I found she was just like dying too much. She was taking too much damage, so I wanted to put her in regen. And another thing that you're going to notice here is speeds on the majority of these champions are over 200, okay? Over 200. And that is because you need to be going at least as often as the Hydra heads. Now, we have these two Cupiduses over here going a bit slower. That's because of their counterattacks, okay? They're still both in speed boots, but they don't need to be going as fast because a lot of their damage comes as counterattacks, okay? Then we have War Chief, also in regen, okay? Also in regen, and this is the build that I use for the Magma Dragon as well as Hydra. And you're going to see, like, we have a lot of accuracy. We have a lot of defensive stats, and we have as much speed as we can get while keeping them in these life-gaining sets. And then the last champion in this team is going to be Mithrala. We got a sweet mythical piece here. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We got an offset here. That's actually Protection and Stone Skin are the best offset pieces because they still provide a bonus, okay? But Mithrala, this is my normal arena Mithrala with 706 accuracy, 321 resistance. Not a bad combination. Some defensive stats, again, over 200 speed, okay? Now, you probably are like, hey, Jedi, give me the blessing. Okay, Brimstone. You got to try to get Brimstone in one of your champions. You've got to. It just adds a significant amount of damage, okay? So, we have, remember here, the attack and crit damage on this Cupidus are much lower. So normally this would be much lower damage, but because we have that Brimstone on there, which it's only a 20% chance, okay? Because we have the Brimstone on there, that made up the difference between the better built Cupidus to the, the lesser built one, okay? Now, Team 2 is going to start with Duchess. And this is the same build I use in Arena. For whatever reason, I just have multiple pieces with these like crazy resistance rolls. And I have a reasonable resistance chest, okay? Like, I wouldn't say that half of the bottom row pieces are not that good. But the top row pieces, that's some decent stats, okay? And so I have my Duchess in regen. And that does work really well for Hydra also, okay? Now, you're going to notice some very similar damage dealers here, right? We have Geo, we have Husk, Royal Guard. Those are all very common damage dealers for Hydra, and I definitely encourage you guys to use those as well, because they're the best. Now, YuGiOh here. This is not the brutal one. This is the nightmare one. So oh, we need this one. Okay, cool. So this is the brutal one. This is just like my normal arena YuGiOh when I was using her in arena. So very fast, accuracy, defensive stats. You know, that's YuGiOh, okay? Nikmo right here as well. This is just like the first build that I put on him. I just tried to do, you know, defensive stats again, some accuracy and resistance, and a lot of speed. Okay, I don't even think this build is great, but that's the build that I used. Okay, I think this build could be definitely improved upon. Definitely improved upon. Krisk number 2. Now, Krisk's stats are very crazy here. We need a lot of resistance, still a lot of accuracy, still a lot of speed, and still a lot of survivability. So if you're building your Krisk, he needs your best gear on your account. And then we already saw YuGiOh. So who do we need? YuGiOh number 2 in Relentless. Okay. I think his accuracy could be a little bit higher here. And then we have, you know, speed on him as well. And then Husk. Okay. Yeah, this is the correct Husk. You don't need that crazy of stats on your Husk. Like 200, 220 crit damage is enough. Focus on getting that speed up and the HP over 60k. And you definitely want some accuracy as well. Okay. Definitely want some accuracy as well. Okay, so then the last build is this YuGiOh in Guardian. Okay. I don't know if this is the best blessing to have here, Miracle Heal. I think that it's important, but I'll be honest, I don't know how important it is. I don't know how big of an impact it made. All I know is that these are the things that I ran to get my first 1 key. Okay? These are the things that I ran to get my first 1 key. So the Arbiter here also has Brimstone, right? I said that was a key. That Arbiter also has Brimstone, and she's in regen, pretty speedy as well. Over 300 speed in regen, okay? Now, you might be saying, well, I can't get those stats in regen. Okay, no problem. She doesn't have to be that fast. Also, if you don't want to gear your Arbiter in regen, then you probably should not be using her in Nightmare Hydra, okay? So pros and cons, right? I happen to have 2 Arbiters. I'm able to do 1 in my normal speed gear, 1 in regen. So you got to decide what the best use of your Arbiter on your account would be. Alrighty, so then Krisk number 1 has a little bit better stats than Krisk number 2. Actually, not really. He has a little bit less resistance, a little bit more accuracy, but a little bit better defensive stats and a little bit more speed. So they're actually pretty comparable. The YuGiOh, we already showed. The Husk and the YuGiOh are the last ones on the Coronar. So again, we have YuGiOh in Relentless here. Pretty similar stats. We definitely need over 350 accuracy here. And again, you're seeing these speeds are all in the 220 range, right? Or higher. And so that was a very, very important thing. I put Cruelty on him to decrease that defense on the boss. I think that was really important. I would love to get another YuGiOh so that I can get that blessing on him as well. We had the Husk build. He has Phantom Touch. Not sure how much I liked that, but it was okay. And then the stats here on him, again, similar, 223, over 60k, 224, 350 accuracy. And then Coronar here is in some pretty nice gear as well. I wanted him to be the backup Mischief tank. His resistance is not quite high enough here. We would love to have over 450. So I do need to try to work on this build still. But you'll notice that I have some Baumel gear here, as well as the perception. Okay, and then we also have the very, very nice Blood Shield Amulet. Okay, that's a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's everyone. Let's flip over and talk about the teams just for one more second, and then we will pull a shard here, right? So, on hard, the main thing you want to focus on is speed and damage. So, think about this almost like an arena team. You want as much damage as quickly as possible, okay? I mean, depending on where you're at on your account, you might not be able to one key yet, but the more speed, the more damage you can put in here, the easier it's going to be. If you have a Trunda, that's an automatic. She should go in here. But like your normal damage dealers like Husk, Royal Guard, they're not as good on hard as they are on brutal and nightmare. And so you can stick to more traditional damage dealers here, like a Solus, for example. You see a Trunda down here. We have a Mashald up here, okay? We have a Tunisia, right? We have a Cecia. We have the Chronum, whatever his name is, okay? We have Cupidus Venus down here. Shout out to my dude William. Oh, look at Fox over here using the new fusion. Look at you go. Let's see who we had. Double Geo here from Billy Goat. I'm just saying, okay, you do not have to use like the enemy max HP champions. There are other options available for hard, okay? And I actually think it makes hard easier when you're using these more traditional damage dealers because they can do a significant amount of damage. And then on Brutal and Nightmare, this is where you need to get into the serious team construction. Like if you don't have like these high-end champions, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, shout out to my dude Zilly here. Zilly does not have Krisk, Duchess, those are the two main. Oh, Sifi. Krisk, Duchess, and Sifi are the main three high-end champions. But you can see, like, there are some options. Like, these teams, these two right here, Sharaponi and Zilly, none of those three champions. So, there are teams that can one key on Brutal and Nightmare. But it's just very difficult. Like, though, if you're missing champions, your gear's going to need to be better. You're going to need those blessings. You're going to need to empower champions. Okay? Those types of things. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. What teams are you using on Hard, Brutal, and Nightmare? What are you max chesting? I really would love to hear from you guys on this. And let's wrap the video by pulling one Sacred. Only one. We're not going deeper than that. We're just trying to spike one. We're just trying to spike one and save 15 for a guaranteed or for future fusions. I'm not trying to pull all these shards today. So can we just get lucky? No. Okay, no worries. No worries. Sandlash Survivor. I'm looking forward to using her on the new Death Knight account, actually. Alright, that'll do it for me here today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm MtgJedi. Good luck with your Hydra keys. Try to build some teams that you will enjoy using so that that content is fun for you. If this content was helpful to you, hit the like button. And, you know, if you want to, you can subscribe so we can hang out more in some future videos. Have a wonderful day.